Okay, I was deciding whether or not I wanted to start with the Brittnay, Renee Williams video. I know I did an update earlier this morning on the case. However, there has been more to add that I thought you all would like to look at with me. I have yet to see this myself, but we are going to look at a news stream that just was done today, and it just aired at about 6 p.m. I do believe. Let me go ahead and bring that up. Let me see. Let me make sure we can see.
A stunning development.
Can everybody hear this?
Cold case of a missing girl from Henrico.
Many of you will remember the smiling face of 7-year-old
Brittnay
Williams, a girl who at the time was being treated for AIDS. She vanished from her Henrico foster home in 2000. Well,
let me make sure that you guys can hear this.
Little information from her caretaker. Police presume Brittnay to be dead. But now, Brittnay Williams may very well be alive. On your side, investigator Kelly Avellino, who began researching this case 2 years ago, traveled to Indiana to be the first to talk with a woman who says she has proof that she is, in fact, Brittnay Renee Williams. Traveled to Indiana to be the first to talk with a woman who says she has proof.
Detectives soon uncovered that Parker received more than $16,000. She was very sweet. She was soft-spoken, and she had the biggest smile you'd ever want to see. All right, Will, come on. It's a smile that radiates.
Yeah.
In the same way as these decades-old pictures.
Now, detectives launched a nationwide search for Brittnay when they uncovered it had been years since anyone besides Kim Parker had seen her alive.
That state is Ohio, according to Kaylin Stevenson, who was given that name by her adoptive parents. She recently started researching her biological family, only able to recall vague and even disturbing memories from her early childhood.
I remember feeding her. I do remember that. Do you still have a scar from that?
Permanent reminders of unclear surgeries.
They go from down here all the way up towards my chest, so there ain't no telling what was actually removed.
And other scars that she says were left by catheters.
But I have a lot of points on my shoulder, even by my neck up here.
Catheter scars were listed in the description on many missing child posters for Brittnay. Brittnay had lived at Kim Parker's group foster home for 4 years, run out of her own house in Henrico.
Concern of potential neglect. Concern of potential maltreatment of some of the children.
I don't remember a lot because so much was going on at the age. Plus, you're young, so your mind is so malleable that so much can be going on that you don't understand. I always remember this one little boy that was in a wheelchair. He was nonverbal, but he was a sweetheart.
Parker was accused of taking $24,000 in government benefits intended for Brittnay, according to court documents. She took a plea deal for 10 years behind bars. Detectives say not cooperating with police on where Brittnay was.
The room I used to be in was like a pastel pink type room.
And there's one more detail that she says didn't fade from her memory, even though the name Brittnay did.
And I didn't remember the last.
Okay, I just want to stop and just kind of see what everybody's opinions is so far. Dawn, you said that you worked this case. Is this your interview? Just okay. No, I'm in the group that she came in too long before this. Should have remembered. Oh yeah. It was your group that I actually found the original post in, and yeah. And then we kind of ended up here. Yeah, I would like to possibly get back in touch with Katie and see if she would like to maybe come on and give us an update herself. But I just figured I would give a quick update real quick. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish airing.
Last name Williams.
Hey, Katie K.
It's implanted in the back of my mind.
So in the seconds it took for her to Google missing children and the name Williams,
I just had a hunch.
Kaylin's life didn't just change.
Literally in the Google bar, search bar, and Brittnay Renee Williams photo popped up.
She says it was revealed.
I woke her up, my wife up out of her sleep and was like, yo, this is me. I know me when I see me. This is me.
From the hairline to the ears to the smile to the chin, even the mole on her neck.
Oh my gosh, I was so happy for her when I seen it.
She didn't even notice that.
But despite the uncanny similarities, Kaylin says she didn't get answers from her adoptive parents. Her birth certificate not matching the birth date of Brittnay Williams. Multiple sources tell me Henrico police and FBI agents are testing Kaylin's DNA with the only other daughter of Rosemary Thompson, Brittnay's biological mother, who was also from Henrico. Rosemary was diagnosed with AIDS while pregnant with Brittnay.
So I don't have AIDS at all.
Have you donated blood before?
Yeah.
Okay, blood plasma?
Yep.
And you have a daughter?
Yep.
And you went for blood work while you were pregnant?
Yep.
And no one at any time ever told you you had HIV or AIDS?
Nope.
Before effective AIDS treatment was available, only about 25% of HIV-positive mothers passed the virus along to their babies while pregnant.
This facade that everybody's put on is just like, wow. Y'all like don't care about a human life. Y'all so greedy and focused on money. I was basically robbed of a life that I could have had.
So far, investigators have stayed tight-lipped on the case, not even telling Kaylin the identity of the potential sister they swabbed for DNA.
Yeah.
Look at that smile on her face.
So I tracked down Anastasia Mcelroy, Rosemary's first daughter, who still lives in Richmond, showing her a picture of Kaylin
Oh my
on
God,
my
they
phone.
look so much
And I
alike.
started bawling and bawling.
Their undeniable connection was instant.
And I knew that it was you. I was filled with, the emotion was so powerful that it kind of like took over my entire spiritual being.
She acts like a big sister. It feels good to have a family member that cares. And she looks like me.
Kaylin and
She
Anastasia
does.
wasted no time in taking their own in-lab DNA test. And they tell me they're not at all surprised at the DNA test results.
You are my sister.
A 95.83% probability of being half-sisters, according to certified DNA results from LabCorp.
And yes, I am going by Brittnay now. I don't want no ties to my adopted name. That name is not me.
There was a couple
Oh my
mornings
gosh.
that I
That gave me
pretty
chills,
vividly
guys.
remember she was kind of sad when she got on the school bus.
Sarah Minter was a childhood friend of Brittnay's. She messaged me 2 years ago about doing a cold case story on her gentle lost friend, whom she had never forgotten.
I think that I'm still in shock. But you were such a sweet child. You were so soft-spoken. You had this beautiful smile like you have right now. The same exact smile. I know it's going to be really hard for you, but, you know, this is like a new beginning. Like, everything bad that happened, but now this is your time to get justice for you.
Come back up this way, Boo.
Kaylin, now calling herself Brittnay, is currently fighting in court over custody of her 7-year-old biological daughter, Isabella. She believes that proving that she's Brittnay Williams will help her keep her child with her.
Remember, you gotta kick your feet in and out.
When you look at the missing person flyer and you see your face on it, what do you think about that little girl?
That little girl went through a lot, but she survived. And everybody
She
thought
sure did.
otherwise.
She sure did.
She's still here. She is me, and I am her. And so many people tried to break me down to where I was nothing. But every time I got back up and still decided to keep fighting, still keep pushing, I got through with my smile.
A smile that shines with 100% probability when she's with those who matter to her most, her wife and their 2 daughters.
5,
Excuse me, guys.
6, Bella.
Henrico police continue to investigate while working with the FBI. Sources tell me both agencies are awaiting their own DNA results.
Blood does not lie, and a DNA test does not lie at all. So, I don't have AIDS, but I am Brittnay Renee Williams.
We'll be waiting and watching for those results as well, and any impact they could have on Kaylin or potentially Brittnay's life. For the On Your Side investigators, I'm Kelly Avellino, NBC 12.
The Henrico Police Department is the lead agency on this case, with the FBI assisting. We tried to call, email, even mailed a letter to Kim Parker and have not heard back. Kelly also reached out to Kaylin's adoptive parents through their attorney. We have also not heard back from them.
Today.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. Oh, my phone is going absolutely crazy right now. Okay, stop sharing. So now back to where we were. Anybody else get chills? Anybody else when she said that she now goes by the name Brittnay? Oh my gosh, I got chills. I am so excited for her. And I mean, sad because of the life that was lost and all the things that she went through. But at the same time, I am very happy for her to be able to move forward in her next chapters in life. I pray. Gotta run and catch another live. Love you, girl. Okay, I probably will see you there. But bye, Kitty K. I am just excited for her to. I want her to get justice. I want her to get custody of her baby girl. I'm so excited. So excited for her next chapters. Again, sad because of the time in the life that she lived. I mean, don't nobody deserve that. But I respect her choices and however she wants to do it. I will try to contact her and see if she would be willing to come on and maybe give us a little bit of a reaction video. Maybe a reaction kind of stream on when she got her results. I will try to get in contact with her for that, guys. Is there anything else that if I can get in contact with her again, you would like me to ask her possibly? Maybe we can hook up some kind of something together with her. I am so excited for her. Okay. Sounds good, Katie K. But I am very, very excited for her, not only for that reason, but let's see. I don't believe so the actual news article says Richmond, a woman in Indiana has come forward to say she has DNA evidence proving she is Brittnay Renee Williams, a 7-year-old child who went missing from Henrico, Virginia in 2000. For 21 years, there has been no trace of Brittnay, a tiny girl with angelic face known for her magnetic smile. She was treated for AIDS and lived with Kim Parker, who ran an independent foster home out of her house in Henrico. Brittnay vanished from the home in 2000. She hadn't shown up to school, and Parker did not produce Brittnay for court hearings. A police search issued, even involving local authorities digging up Parker's backyard. Detectives have long presumed Brittnay Williams to be dead, especially without her AIDS medication. But that may not be true. 21 years later, Kaylin Stevens from Fort Wayne, Indiana, says she's Brittnay Renee Williams. Stevenson also says she has certified in-lab DNA test to prove it, taken at LabCorp. And then it goes on to say, when you look at Stevenson and her magnetic smile, pronounced cheekbones, and other delicate facial features bear and an uncanny resemblance to the little girl in the missing child poster. I thought so too. From the time I seen it, I was like, there's no way you can look this much like this girl and not be her. NBC 12 traveled to Indiana to talk with Stevenson's. She closely watched NBC's 12's cold case story, aiming to help generate tips and justice for Brittnay. You all weren't looking in the right state, she said aloud to herself, commenting on the search for Brittnay Williams. The state Stevenson is referring to is Ohio. That is where she's lived much of her life with her adoptive parents, who gave her that name. Guys, I can't currently see the chat because I'm reading, but I will. It is okay. Truly a miracle universe. She absolutely looks happy. Her smile is so big and so bright, Katie. Stevenson recently. Okay, we read that. The room I used to be in was like a pastel pink type room, said Stevenson. I will always remember the one little boy who was in a wheelchair. He was verbal. Yeah, a little bit of a tongue-tied. He was a sweetheart. The charity or the foster home that Parker ran during the 1990s was called Rainbow Kids. Attorneys say Parker took in as many as 50 kids over the years with many serious medical issues or developmental disabilities. I'm really curious about this Rainbow Kids. I think I'm going to dig further into that. So look forward to that. Her Rainbow Kids operation was her entire existence, said Henrico Deputy Commonwealth Attorney Mike Fenmel in a 2019 interview with NBC 12. Fenmel prosecuted the fraud case ultimately brought against Parker. The money coming in was how Parker was living, Fenmel said. Henrico Police Cold Case Detective Lieutenant Kevin Howdyshell says multiple people who knew Kim Parker at the time contacted Henrico's Child Protective Services, concerned out of the potential neglect and concern of the potential maltreatment of some of the children, Howdyshell said. Ultimately, Parker told the police she sent Brittnay to live with two women in California. However, Henrico police say that wasn't true. Parker was indicted on 73 counts of fraud, accused of taking $24,000 in government benefits intended for Brittnay. According to documents, Parker ultimately took a plea deal to spend 10 years behind bars. I don't remember a lot because so much was going on, especially when you're young. You can't understand, said Stevenson. I do remember a feeding tube. I do remember that. And a large round scar can clearly be seen on Stevenson's upper abdomen. Stevenson has multiple other scars on her stomach from surgeries she has underwent as a child. But she can't remember what exactly those surgeries were for what reason. A large linear scar on Stevenson's stomach went down here all the way up to my chest, motioned Stevenson, tracing the scar. So there's no telling what was actually removed. That's kind of, I don't know. I wonder if they can get into her medical documents, if anybody might know if they can actually look those up now. I don't know. Do you think with her being missing, I got so many questions. With her being missing, would they even still have her medical documents? Because she was technically presumed pretty much dead, without her medications. This is why we should never give up on missing children. Exactly, Katie K. Exactly. Never give up. And I mean, anything can honestly happen in the universe. I mean, you speak on it, it can happen. It's truly a miracle from the universe. And she looks happy too. Okay. Let's see. Multiple other scars can be seen on Stevenson's upper left chest. She says they were left by catheters. Catheter scars were listed in the description on the missing child's poster for Brittnay, but there's only one detail that says didn't fade from her memory, even though the name Brittnay did. I did remember the last name Williams, and for some reason, it's implanted in the back of my mind. I think that's like a protective kind of thing. You may I would think, being a child, you may lose your first name, but you're like, hey, remember this name. Hit yourself in the back of the head and say, hey, remember this name. So I am so happy that she remembered that name. And out of all names she could have picked, she picked this one. And I'm so happy that she did. In seconds it took for her to Google missing children and the name Williams. Stevenson said her life didn't just change. It was revealed to her. That's a Great way to put it. And Brittnay Renee Williams' photo popped up. Stevenson said, excited, I woke my wife up out of her sleep and was like, this is me. I know this is me. I see me. This is me. I see me when I know me when I see me. Woo. From the hairline to the ears to the smile and the chin, says Ladaja Kelly, Stevenson's wife. Even the mole on her neck. I started putting the pieces together that was really her. But despite the uncanny similarities, Stevenson says she didn't get answers from her adoptive parents about her adoption. Stevenson's birth certificate does not match the date of birth of Brittnay Williamson. Stevenson says she has not been able to get a hold of the adoption documents. I wonder how she would... I got so many questions how she would go about like actually picking up like her name that she had, you know. If anybody has any idea about these questions that I'm asking, it would be great if we can answer some. Let's see. Multiple sources from NBC 12 confirmed to NBC 12 the Henrico police and FBI agents are testing Stevenson's DNA with the only other daughter of Rosemary Thompson. Stevenson says Indiana FBI Facebook. Wow. FBI agents did take a DNA sample from her in person. I don't have AIDS at all, said Stevenson, who says she's donated blood and had blood work completed multiple times in her life. She has known since her 7-year-old biological daughter, Isabella, who is the joy of her life. No medical doctor ever told Stevenson that she was HIV positive or had AIDS. She also says she has received blood work results providing that. I am sorry, guys. The boyfriend just came home from work. Before effective HIV and AIDS treatment was available, about 25% of HIV positive mothers pass the virus onto their babies while pregnant, according to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. This is basically going through a statement that you can have a baby that is tested positive for HIV and AIDS, and ultimately the child can grow out of it. The facade that everybody has put on is just like, wow. Said Stevenson, y'all don't care much about human life. Y'all are so greedy and focused on money. I was basically robbed of a life that I could have had. Exactly. Like I said, sad for the life she could have had, but excited for her next journey. So far, investigators have stayed tight-lipped about the cold case and not even telling Stevenson the identity of the potential half-sister they swabbed for DNA in Richmond. So NBC tracked down Anastasia Mcelroy, Rosemary Thompson's first daughter. Mcelroy was ultimately adopted by another family as well. Well, so this is how it all happened. When we showed Mcelroy a picture of Stevenson while she was standing on her front porch, Mcelroy immediately began crying with emotion. She just started bawling and bawling, said Mcelroy. I just started bawling and bawling, said Mcelroy. The emotion was so powerful, it kind of took over my entire spiritual being. We connected the pair, and their undeniable connection was instant. Look at that smile on her face, said Mcelroy in a video call with her sister. I knew it was you. This is, it does, okay, we're going to continue on with this. I was actually ecstatic. She acts like a big sister, said Stevenson, who now talks to Mcelroy on a near daily basis, a family member that cares, that genuinely cares, and she looks just like me, and her kids look like me, smiled Stevenson. Stevenson and Mcelroy wasted no time in taking their own in-lab DNA test through LabCorp. They say that they are not surprised by the results. The report, which can be used as a legal court document, that and says The two have a 95.83 probability of being half sisters. And yes, I am going by Brittnay now. I don't want no ties to the adoptive name. That is not me, said Stevenson. So I'm wondering if she said all this. How come they're calling her Stevenson in the news article instead of Brittnay? Because obviously they knew this before they aired, right? Or published the article. Sarah Mintner was a childhood friend of Brittnay who initially reached out to NBC 12 to do a cold case story on her gentle lost friend whom she had never forgotten. There was a couple of mornings I vividly remember when Brittnay, was kind of sad getting on the school bus. We also connected Stevenson and Minter via video chat. You were such a sweet child. You were soft-spoken. You have a beautiful smile like you do right now. You said Minter through tears, looking at Stevenson through a video call. The same exact smile. I know it's going to be really hard for you, but this is like a new beginning, like everything bad that happened. This is your time for justice. I 100% agree with this lady. Stevenson is currently fighting custody over her daughter Isabella, and she believes that she's providing Williams will help her keep her child. When you look at the missing person flyer, what do you think about that little girl? She asked. That little girl went through a lot, but she survived. And everybody thought otherwise. And said Stevenson, but she's still here. Is me, and I am her. And so many people tried to break me down that I was nothing. But every time I got back up and decided to keep on fighting and keep pushing. Got through with a smile. And she was, I do believe, valedictorian in her class, I think she said. She's one smart lady. It's a smile that radiates with a 100% probability. Stevenson is with those who matter to her most. Her wife, Deja, and their two daughters, Isabella and Sarah. Blood does not lie, and DNA does not lie at all. So I don't have AIDS, but I am Brittnay Renee Williams. There are so many questions surrounding this case. Stephen and McElroy, and no doubt many others, will be awaiting the DNA results from Henrico police and any impact that they could have on Kaylin or Brittnay's life. This case is active, and we are currently going through our federal partners, said Lieutenant Pekka, a spokesperson for Henrico police. NBC 12 did email a letter to Kim Parker and has yet to hear back. We reached out to Kaylin's adoptive parents through their attorney. We have also not heard back at this time. So, okay, this leaves me many questions because, okay, no problem. That's if you know the birth name. Let me see. Let's go back through the comments real quick. You can gain access to adoption paperwork from the state usually. In Texas, my dad can file for my brother's info for 35. That's if you know the birth name. I'll catch the rest on replay. Okay, no problem. Thank you for joining me, KDK. However, so I guess that leaves me with so many questions. If anybody might know any of the answers, like, I don't know, man. I would love to get her on and talk to her and actually get her reaction. So, Katie, if you happen to hear this stream and you happen to hear this broadcast, and you're okay with possibly coming on and doing maybe a reaction video to when you got your results, I would love for you to come on and talk with us, and maybe tell more or whatever of your story. It was a pleasure meeting you throughout this process, and I am just I'm just speechless. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end, and I will check y'all later.